I thought we had some good looks. It wasn't one of our better shooting nights. I thought we did some good things, as it relates to ball movement. I thought we generated some good looks. I think about half of our shots, about a third of our shots were in the deep paint, so we got the ball there. And then obviously I thought the looks we had from the three-point line were relatively good. We just couldn't make some. I thought there was a couple plays in the game where maybe we had a chance to break some momentum and we couldn't quite get over the hump. But give them credit; they shot the ball very, very well. And then I thought the other part is they rebounded very, very well against us, and our defensive rebounding was not great for the game. And we've been very, very good rebounding, but that certainly hurt us.
That's kind of what I was going to ask about, Billy, on the defensive rebounding. I think Taj and Steven didn't have a rebound in the first half. I mean, how critical was that in terms of giving them second opportunities, particularly Klay Thompson and Steph Curry?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's huge. And, I think, to me, this is a game that gives us a great opportunity to look at those, the little things, so to speak, or the attention to detail things, because, go back and look at the film. We could have been caught in rotation. Some of that stuff could have also been, we were switching some on the perimeter, and, Taj and some of these guys could have been stretched out and maybe not in position to rebound. We could have been some of it with our guards rebounding against their bigs. So go back and look at the film, but no question, we need our front court guys to get back in there and help. I thought in the third quarter there were a couple of rebounds in front of our bench where we clearly needed to do a better job of blocking out and keeping them off the backboard.
Coach, do you think your guys press against Golden State because it's such a rivalry, if you will, and it just seems like your guys wanted a bunch, and sometimes if you press,
yeah, I mean, possibly. I thought our guys competed really, really hard. It was one of those games where it was like a game where nothing on the offensive end in terms of the ball going in the basket really went for us. I mean, I thought we made a great play. It's a 12-point game. Taj gets it on the baseline there, and it had an opportunity to get an N1 and just didn't quite finish. He missed 2 free throws. There was a couple loose balls where it was like a 12-point game. The ball gets thrown back out. It's a 3. It goes to 50. There was a couple of those plays. And I'm not sitting there saying that we would have won the game, but there was some things that we could have maybe broken some momentum and kind of dug in a little bit, and we didn't. For whatever the reason, I'm not sure. But I felt like our guys competed. They tried hard. I thought we were really defending as well as we could. Now, I thought the one thing that did hurt us is I felt like in transition we lost Thompson a few times in transition. That was not good, where we gave him some clean looks. And I thought early in the game they kind of established that, because even when we got some made baskets, they kind of got out in transition, even on makes, and were able to generate some threes. I don't know, in the first 5 minutes, I'd say probably 75% of their shots were threes. So. But I don't know. I didn't sense that. I thought our guys were really competing hard. Alex has been a really, really good shooter for us the whole season. It was one of those nights. I mean, different guys have it, and it was probably tonight with the way they shot the ball, we were going to need to score more points, and we had a hard time there.
Billy, even with Durant out, they still obviously have 3 All-Stars. But was there any frustration at all that you weren't able to keep it a little bit closer, even with those guys? And secondly, it seemed like you just kind of addressed the threes, some of the open threes in transition, but it seemed like they got some pretty good looks even without a third.
Yeah, I mean, we had one of the things we had talked about was taking care of the ball. Our guys did a great job there. We forced turnovers against them. That was important. Going into the into the third quarter, and I think for the game, we took more free throws than they did, but we shot such a low percentage. I, for some reason, got off track there from what you were,
Not having Durant is still.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really look. Listen, they're a terrific team. I mean, to your point, I mean, Curry and Thompson and Green and Iguodala and the guys on their team, they've been playing together. Livingston coming off the bench, so. It wasn't like we felt like we were facing a team that was like drastically undermanned. I think, like I said before the game, I think you always try to figure out how you want to play when you lose a player at the magnitude of Kevin in terms of, rotations or who's filling in offense, those kind of things. But I didn't look at it that way. I really look at it as it's one game that we got a chance playing against a high-quality team to really learn a lot more about ourselves. And the quicker we can learn, through tomorrow's practice and get ready and prepared for Philly because they're playing well will be the most important thing.
What impact did it have that they were in the bonus with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter? That they broke away. It seemed
Yeah,
like that.
they did, and obviously that the same thing happened. Last time we played against them, in a big second quarter there. We were kind of, again, I thought some of the 17 points. If there was one point in time in the game, I thought it was the second quarter where I actually thought our inability to put the ball in the basket, and I thought we had some plays around the rim that we weren't able to finish. We had a couple shots blocked. We had some good looks that just didn't go down. I thought that in that second quarter it bled into our defense a little bit, and then I thought, in the third we scored 27 points, and then the fourth 29. But again, their ability to score the ball, I thought we hung in there. But I thought that second quarter, there's no question. I thought our offense affected our defense.
More questions, Fred?
That scuffle at the end of the second quarter, what did you see happening from your angle? What are you thinking in that moment? Are you thinking keep guys on the bench or?
Yeah, we got assistant coaches to do that. I just didn't want anything to escalate on the court. I was obviously right in front of it, but it started with Samaj and Steph. They're both kind of fighting for positions, bodying each other, and one thing led to another. You got two guys out there competing, and then all of a sudden, some other guys got involved. But it really wasn't that big of a deal.
Right, but you guys haven't really had moments like that in games not against the Warriors. What is it about these games that you think is bringing out those moments for you guys?
I don't know necessarily maybe how to answer that. I just think it was a situation where, Samaj was not going to back up, and neither was Curry, and it led to just some pushing and our guys getting in, their guys getting in, and then it kind of just ended after that. I don't know anything more or why with them, but that's kind of what I saw, just because I was right there in front of that. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. The officials got it done. I think cooler heads prevailed on the court. Both teams backed away and moved on to playing.
Last question, Brett. Billy, you mentioned that things like that can happen. Now Russell doesn't really have any margin for error with those things anymore. One more, and he gets a suspension. Is that a concern going forward?
I've said this before. Russell, has been in the league for a long time. He knows what he needs to do and how he needs to handle himself, and I trust him with that. And for him, with the remaining games that we have to play, he obviously understands, I think, exactly where he's at. And the one thing I always admire about Russell is he always is a guy that has a lot of personal accountability and responsibility, and I know he'll always try to do his best for our team, but something I'm sure he's aware of.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.